Tank Davis. And like I said before, man, Tank Davis seems to like to wait until his fellow peers, his fellow rivals, got fights lined up. He likes to wait until guys are well into camp before he comes out and addresses these dudes. But prior to these guys getting into any type of contract with any other fighters, you can't find Tank Davis. Hit that like button for your boy William Bushido Boxing. This is where we're going to be for the remainder of 2023. But Tank Davis, man. boy. I don't know if he does this on purpose. I don't know if this is just part of his game. But whatever the case may be, Tank Davis seems to like to wait until his fellow rivals, guys that we would like to see him compete against, he likes to wait until these dudes got fights lined up. And Tank Davis comes out and says this: I'm coming to get everything that's mine, and that's for sure. But the question is, what is yours? Right? Because if it was yours, you should have been had it by now. Because as far as I can tell, you had a head start above a lot of these young guys, these little niggas that you talking about, these little ninjas that you talking about. Right? And then he says, and all them little niggas got to see me, all of them. And then he says, and all them little ninjas got to see me, all of them. I mean, they could have saw you. Devin Haney could have saw you, right? Devin Haney legit could have saw you. But guess what? You waited till he got a fight lined up before you came out of hiding. Now, Tank Davis got out of jail, and it was no fights lined up for nobody still. You just couldn't find Tank nowhere. You just couldn't find him nowhere. And, you know, guys like Devin Haney, you know, fought Lomachenko. Teofimo fought Lomachenko. Both guys, Teofimo and Devin, fought George Kambosos. You know, Kambosos and Haney fought each other. Haney fought Lomachenko. I mean, Shakur is on his way. You know, he just got to the weight class, so he's a little bit late. But, I mean, Devin Haney, if anybody's doing anything at 135, 140, if anybody's doing anything really significant, it's Devin the Dream Haney. Now, Shakur is still, you know, a little bit behind as far as, you know, his career, but he'll be there relatively soon. And Shakur Stevenson had a hit list, right? And the few guys that's remaining is Lomachenko, the Dream Devin Haney, the Pitbull Cruz, who ducked him. As you can see here on the shirt on the screen, he got, you know, vacated the premises for Devin the Dream Haney, and then for Tank Davis, it's to be announced. So Tank Davis, he said they got to see him, but he said this before.
He said, quote, if you don't care to go and make the big fights happen, what's the point of even leaving your current situation? Might as well stay there and be loyal to Floyd. What do you think about that?
He's an email champ. He's an email champ. He's fighting because somebody mailed him the belt. Did that ever happen in boxing anymore? And he's talking crazy. And he still got, like, come on. So if you win, you said all that. If you win, I'm not out my contract. Let's make the fight happen, since you was wanting to talk crazy. Let's do that. I want to fight you if you win. Devin Haney.
Right? He said this before the Rolly fight, leading up the build up to that fight. He said they got to see him. He said this before Devin Haney fought George Kambosos for the second time. Nah, we still ain't seen him. Right? So I think Tank Davis just blown up a lot of smoke. I think that I don't think he's going to fight neither one of those dudes anytime soon. Because right after his fight with Pitbull Cruz, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. We ain't going to hear from him. We ain't going to see him until those guys that we want to see him fight got other fights lined up.
One more question before I go. Why not fight Tank at 135?
Tank ain't gonna fight him, man. He not gonna fight him.
You gotta realize with Tank, he on that other side where he gonna, you know, act
Take
like
all the cupcakes. Alex, say it.
Man, I'm quite sure.
Look,
fight you here.
So you saying he don't want to put that record up?
Look,
Shady, I know Tank.
It is, man.
I know Tank, Shady.
I know Tank too.
Let him talk. Go ahead.
Hey, I know Tank too, and I know for a fact at the end of the day, like, he is not jumping into no fight with me. Like, that's a whole different type of atmosphere. That's not like fighting. I'm saying.
So basically, you telling me Tank scared?
I ain't gonna say the man scared. I'm just saying for a fact.
So what
I
you
know
saying?
he not jumping in the ring with me.
And then even people on Twitter, social media saying the same thing that I've been saying. Why? Because we all see the same thing. Is it just some of us could be a little bit more honest about what we're witnessing? This guy here says, why come Tank can talk about other fighters when they have fights lined up, but it's clout chasing if they say his name when there's even a hint of him potentially having a fight lined up. That's a good question, right? I guess you calling out a fighter, etc., and if that fighter don't necessarily want to fight you like that, then it gets labeled as clout chasing. But really, this is what these guys are supposed to do. Really, this is a part of the sport. Really, this is part of the game. You got to let these dudes know you want that smoke. And, of course, when you being a popular name in the sport, a relevant name in the sport, well, this is what the fans want to see. We want to see rivalries. We want to see storylines. We want to see build-ups to these fights, and eventually these fights actually happening. But Tank Davis, man, I think he's been putting out a lot of I think he's been blowing a lot of smoke for the past couple of years now. There's no more Rolando Ramiro's. We don't want to see Pitbull Cruz. There's no more Javier Zavalas. There's no more Enrique and Vasquez. Right? There's no more Hector Garcias. There's no more Ryan Garcia. So, yeah, we want to see Shakur Stevenson or Devin the Dream Haney. Devin Haney said, you got to come up to 140 now, bro. So what you going to do? You fought Mario Barrios at 140. Could you fight Devin Haney? Nah, I don't think so, man. I think it's going to be a lot more difficult for us to see Tank Davis in the ring with somebody we really want to see him with. It's going to be a lot more difficult than we imagine. But I think if fans constantly putting the pressure on Tank, and I think if these young fighters build themselves to the point where Tank can't deny them. But yeah, you guys, Tank Davis says that Shakur Stevenson, I guess he said Shakur Stevenson. He didn't tag nobody. You know, Tank Davis is very subliminal, but we know who he was talking about. He said that they got to see him and that he's going to get what's his. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.